Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or if you have any other significant Taurus placements, there may be a message in here for you. So Taurus, I'm getting this energy of an expansion that you're in at the moment, like getting ready to start something new if you haven't already started it. But I was seeing a couple of cards before getting started. I'm using this deck today because I was seeing two cards from this deck. The Shaman's Dream Oracle. One of them was the Obstacles card, or the Wall, which has like an obstacle, but there's a keyhole. And I do feel like you have the key, Taurus, but I don't know. There's something about it that's like maybe like... it's kind of feeling like a moment's hesitation or something like that, but you do have the key. It's really wanting to come through like that. The next, the other card that I was seeing in response to that was the Magician's Sword, Confidence in Your Magic. And I was just thinking about that card as we were getting, like, as I was preparing for the reading. And if you think about the magician has all four of the elements, right? The sword, wand, pentacle, and cup in order to create what they want. But because the card that's coming through, specifically the Magician's Sword, it was coming through with like truth, vision, and like a belief in yourself to be able to create what it is that you want. Because I was kind of getting a little bit of energy here of like a dissatisfaction in the way things are right now, like because it feels kind of like you're getting like you are about to start, or like you have started already this new beginning that you're really excited about. There's this like new vision, new inspiration maybe, or like something that you're feeling very excited about, but at the same time there's this like almost like a feeling of, well, we're not there yet, right? Like it's kind of like maybe there's stuff that you have to get done first. Maybe there's like loose ends that you have to tie up, or like this feeling of like it just feels like dissatisfaction with something. So only take that if it resonates. But anyways, we're going to use this deck. I haven't used it in a while. And see what comes out for you. Okay. Interesting. So we have the Many Masks, Authentic Self, and then the Winter's Dream, Gestation Period. Yeah. Okay, there was another card I was seeing in the Archetypes deck for you, the Empty Room, which may be significant. Then you have Heart, Home, Compassion at the bottom of the deck. Because I do feel like the Winter's Dream card, the Gestation Period, might be what's needed. Okay, I'm gonna just glance at 38 if there's anything. And yeah. Interesting. The Magician's Sword is number 37. Many Masks, Authentic Self, Energizing Internal Allies, and a Conscious Shift. This one's 38. We live in a world where everyone we see wears a mask. We wear these masks to cover up and protect who we really are. We learn to do so because we've been conditioned to try to appear a certain way to fit into society. Masks allow us to belong, so we remain within the confines of what is expected. Masks are not inherently bad, rather they provide context and structure for our personalities and soul's expression. Your authentic essence doesn't want to be constrained by others' expectations anymore. Now is the time to strip away the mask you've accepted and discover who you really are. A new self is emerging, and your perception changes as you adopt new ways of being. Right now, it's important to allow yourself to experiment, to experience the world, in all its myriad potentials and possibilities. Try on different masks and let yourself be fluid and curious. How will you know what you love and what you resonate with if you don't take off the mask you've always worn and test drive some new ones? Okay, interesting. And then 63. So I feel like there's something here about, okay, the gestation period, sanctuary, and conscious awareness. The winter's dream is a summons to go within. Your life force longs to turn inward like the sap of trees returning to the roots. Cast your gaze towards the deep and hidden places in your heart. Come to rest again in the sanctuary and safety of your soul and be at peace, basking in your crystalline clarity in that quiet place. This is not hibernation. Do not fall asleep. Take your quiet, wakeful nature with you into stillness and know that you are replenishing your life force. Excuse me. Trust that the deeply buried seeds inside your soul, the one you planted even before you were born, are stirring softly, ready to awaken with the spring. But do not try to rouse them early. Instead, surrender to the quiet of winter's dream. Winter's dream can lull you into a slumber where you can lose consciousness and become caught in a nightmare. Awakened, find that easy return to wakefulness that brings you clarity. This is the time to set your priorities in order, yet not act on any of them. Allow the clarity and transparency that comes with winter's dream to permeate your heart and soul. The time for action will come later. Remember that all things are born of dreams, and your task is to wake up within the dream, to lucidly guide it to your chosen destination. Okay, that's very interesting. Okay, because now that I'm looking at these two cards together, you have the many masks, which looks like this figure's asleep, right? So I feel like, Taurus, you're entering into this winter's dream gestation period, which is not about slumber. It's not about falling asleep. It's about awakening something within you. And I feel like there's this like conscious awareness that's coming through stillness. I do feel like you are being asked to go within. There's a bit of a hermit energy that's coming through with this. Going within and turning the light on within. And I feel like there's something here, like a new identity maybe, or like a new aspect of self that is wanting to be awakened, and like you're being asked to sort of put on this new mask that will allow you to authentically express a part of yourself that hasn't been allowed to express yet, is how it's coming through. Like that has up until this point perhaps, or yeah, maybe up until this point has been asleep or has fallen asleep. So maybe in the past this part of you was awake, but it has fallen asleep. So it's almost like you're going inward in order to wake it. Like the metaphor that's coming in, that this is not about you, like it's really wanting to emphasize, like, be conscious not to fall asleep, Taurus, while you're in this period of time. Because what I'm seeing here is that, like, almost like a parent going to wake their child up, right? But it's like really, not that it's early, but it's like it's time for the child to wake up. So they're going into the child's bedroom and waking up the child, but the parent should not also fall asleep while they're doing that, right? Like this is the kind of energy that I'm getting for you. It's like this conscious waking, but like in a very peaceful kind of way, not in like a disruptive way. I feel like though, because let's say I do feel like there is some sort of like new beginning for you, but it feels almost like the new beginning starts with this gestation period. Like it's like very quiet and slow moving and gentle, and like don't rush it. That this part of you is awakening. It really feels like an aspect of self that hasn't had a proper outlet to express yet. or it hasn't in a while. If it's something that's sort of reawakening, it's like it, maybe there was a part of yourself that had to go into a slumber for healing, perhaps, or whatever it is. But now it's time to reawaken this and to do it gently, because it's also kind of coming through with this energy of like, let's say you like fall asleep while you're like, again, there's a lot of this like parent-child kind of energy. So if it's not like, maybe there is something of like a parent-child dynamic for you, or it's you parenting your inner child, right? Like it could be that as well. But anyways, the image that I just got with that was that like, if say you're driving and there's like, or as a kid, maybe if you were in the car somewhere and you fell asleep in the car, right? In the midst of a journey. And it's like, so when you wake up, you're in a different place than you were when you fell asleep. That's sort of the metaphor that's coming through with this part of you, where it's like an aspect of yourself, and it could be inner child, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be inner child related. It just could be some other aspect of self that has temporarily gone to sleep, whatever that is. Where it's like you are now in a different place than you were when that part of you went to sleep, is how it's coming through. So you're in a different place. It could be disorienting, and it could be almost confusing as well, like trying to figure out where you are when the last bit of information you had was a completely different environment or scenario, or like maybe the seasons have changed. Maybe like it's kind of coming through like having to like readjust or reacquaint yourself to your new surroundings. It's like something has changed, and or it's like, well, of course something has changed, but it's feeling almost like you're at the destination, maybe. But there's this period of time where you almost have to like reacquaint yourself, and it's interesting though, because it's almost coming in with this feeling of loss at the same time. Like you missed out on that portion of the journey. But I feel like that's more so coming through with this feeling of confusion, or feeling disoriented, or again, that feeling of like being unsatisfied, because maybe there's this portion of time where it's like you feel like you missed out on something, when that's not true, Taurus. Like it's not like, that's not that it's not true, but it's like I feel like whatever this aspect of yourself is, it needed that time to rest, or to sort of be offline, or to be asleep, right? It needed that time. You didn't miss out on anything. That was really needed, is how that's feeling. Like it's giving this energy of like again, a child. There's something about your inner child that I feel like is really wanting to be heard at this time. Like I'm just getting this energy of like a kid who like breaks his leg or something right before the summer vacation starts. So for the entire summer vacation, they have to stay inside while their friends are playing, for example, right? It's kind of coming through like that. And it's like the entire summer vacation was spent indoors, resting, healing. And then by the time they get their cast off, it's like they had to go back to school, right? Like it's kind of coming through like that as a metaphor. And then this feeling of like, oh, well, I missed out on that entire summer doing nothing. Like it's feeling like that for you, Taurus. I don't know. But So I don't know, maybe you are going through something like that currently, or maybe that's something where it's like, maybe that's in the past for you. Like now it's like, this is the next summer after that happened, and it's like trying to make the most of it because in the past you missed out on it. It could be something like that as well. So, but just like, I feel like part of the message that's coming through right now is like making sure that you're not, making sure that you are taking all the wisdom that you learned while you were healing and integrating that into where you are now. Because I feel like there is something of like, something has shifted or changed, or something is wanting to shift or change within you. It's like, I really want to say don't rush, but like, that sounds, I hate giving advice like that, but like, maybe that's part of it. It's like, try take it slow. You have the Mountain here, which to me is also another energy of the Hermit, like going within. Perhaps there's a particular challenge that you're having to face. Sometimes this Mountain card comes in with this energy of isolation just because of this. There's also strong like Mars energy that's coming through. I was also getting this energy of Hephaestus in Greek mythology, who is like the blacksmith, right? He creates all of the tools and everything, and his kiln, or whatever the word is at the side of a mountain. But there's something about the story of Hephaestus, which is, that's coming through here, is that like, his mother, Hera, found him to be like hideous. And so that's why she cast him aside. Like, there may be something about that for you, like an aspect of, abandonment or rejection, or like feminine kind of love, like from a mother maybe, that is part of what you're healing, or that is like the inner child aspect that is wanting to express that sort of pain, is how it's feeling as well. Like there, or that you're awakening something about that. The thing about pain is that it becomes your power, right? Like that's the message that's coming through with that. So maybe there is something here where you're awakening some aspect of your power through pain. The riddle. You have the number 3 a lot, coming out a lot. Like you have 38, 63. This is 33. And then L is what, 50, 53. The riddle. And then you sort of have like these 3 lobes connected in this riddle card. And now I'm seeing the 3 of Pentacles as well. I feel like there's something here where it's like, I feel like part of whatever this is for you is this energy of isolation versus collaboration with others. Because I feel like there's something here about like, it could be like hyper independence, or this feeling that you can't depend on other people because of maybe in the past there was rejection or being cast aside or being abandoned, right? Like that sort of pain can lead to one being hyper independent, right? Like I can't depend on anyone. I have to do everything on my own, right? Like that kind of energy, which can be a strength, but can also hold you back from authentic connection and collaboration. I feel like there is something here with the riddle, because the riddle talks about the more you try and solve a problem, the less clear it becomes. But sometimes I see this riddle as being like something that's moving so fast that when others try to grasp at it, they get blocked, right? They can't reach into it. They can't, like, there's something that's masked again, like hidden. I feel like there's something hidden, maybe to yourself, Taurus. And that's what you're being asked to uncover. But I feel like there is something here of like something moving really fast. It's kind of giving me this vibe of like somebody who does not want to slow down, because slowing down means that they have to confront some things that are uncomfortable. Like especially things like not wanting to be alone with yourself, which is also the hermit energy. So not wanting to be alone with yourself for whatever reason. And so constantly reaching out to others, or like doing a lot of like, just as an example, only take that if it resonates for you. But I do want to read what the riddle says, because it is kind of coming through with this energy of like, okay, when the riddle is present, one must stop searching for the right answer. It cannot be found, and ultimately it is not important. Rather, there must be a shift from the literal to the metaphorical, from logic to mythic. You are thinking too small and literally about the situation. The riddle card appears when the energy is deep and mysterious, like the elusive wisdom in a Zen koan. Focusing harder won't do it, neither will increased effort. Time, surrender, and humor are your only allies. What feels like the most pressing dilemma won't reveal its deeper wisdom for a long time. Eventually, you'll learn a profound lesson from the riddle. For now, get comfortable with the limitations of your intellect and the reality of not knowing. It may, in fact, be the only reality there is. Yeah, okay. The only way to work with a riddle successfully is to not work. Okay, maybe there has been something that you have been trying to figure out, is just how it's feeling. Like trying to figure out the answer to something, or the right way to do something, or there, like, again, it's kind of feeling like that energy of like there's an expansion that you have in mind, or if expansion is not the right word for you, it's like a goal, an end point, a desired outcome that you want, that you're trying to move towards, but they're like struggling with the how, or like how do I get there? What's the right path? What's the right answer? What's the right thing that I have to do? And it's like, put all of that aside for a moment, Taurus. Like there, because it's kind of like, the more you, it's like I'm seeing now like tires spinning in mud. The more you try and work it out, the more stuck you become, is how it's coming through. And so it's almost like you need to stop doing that. I feel like that's gonna make someone angry, but like, what? You don't have to be watching this. So, and what I'm seeing here is almost like just stop trying to move out of something that's not like, I don't know. It just feels like there's like a lot of frustration about something, or like trying to get something to work, or trying to get around something. trying to make everything fit is how it's coming through as well. And I feel like there's this energy here with the riddle of like, the more you spin the tires, the more stuck you're going to become. So it's almost like to stop doing that. I feel like there's an aspect here with the winter's dream gestation period of almost having to like focus on something else entirely is just how it's coming through. Like, I don't know. Can I get one more archetype, please? The Siren, yeah. The Siren. And there's another 3 in there. Well, this is 18, but just in terms of like the Roman numeral 3, all 3 of these cards have that. The Siren. Okay, and you have Anima Mundi, which is the World card, and it also talks about like creation for me. Like this one talks to me about creation, and there's another 3. 111 might be a significant number for you at this time. But let's see what the Siren says. X. The siren calls and the world spins. What we thought we wanted pales in comparison to the sweet allure of her song. We find ourselves lost in a spell of desire and longing, perhaps even lust. Whether the thing calling to us is ultimately good or bad is somewhat irrelevant. It's the journey that matters, and the work of the siren is to take us on a deep psychic descent. Following her song, we go down, 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 to a place where lessons are learned and courage must be rallied to find our way back to dry land. Try as we might, resisting the call may not even be an option, unless, like Odysseus, we bind our hands to the mast of our ship. It's likely, though, that falling for her call is the only way we will come to live more fully on the surface. Other iterations of the siren archetype include the nymph, the mermaid, and the fairy. They often come in sets of 3 as a trinity of temptation. Interesting. The siren laughs at conventions and constraints. She eats rules. Okay, so clearly the number 3 is coming through very strongly for you. Something coming in 3s. But I feel like what this siren card is saying is that, like, so the riddle could be something like the grind, right? Like that's sort of how it's coming through for you, like spinning tires, feeling stuck in the mud, that kind of energy. But there is something else that's calling you. That is the siren. It doesn't have to be good or bad. And what's interesting here, though, Taurus, is I'm getting this feeling of like there's something that's calling to you, and it feels like it's it's breaking down this energy of convention, rules, or what's expected of you, maybe, or like in a situation, like things that are expected, and it's wanting to awaken something within you is really what's coming through with this, like, because it does feel like this journey of going within. But I feel like part of this journey is something that maybe you have been avoiding, or like you've tried to like tie yourself to the mast metaphorically to avoid this call, or this venture, or like using things like, you know, I have to do all these things first before I do that, or like like that kind of energy, like having to and it could be things like, you know, it's there are certain rules, there are certain things that have to get done, there are certain expectations, right? That could be the riddle. It's like this constant grinding of the wheels, but that's actually getting you more stuck, is how it's feeling. Because I feel like it has something to do with expectations, and it could be, it's feeling very strongly like expectations that society has placed upon you, like comparing yourself to what society expects to be the norm, or what's like proper or right, or that kind of thing, that may be keeping you stuck in some way. Or there's a resistance to being cast out, right? With Hephaestus, right? Like, he was seen as hideous to his own mother, right? Like, it's kind of coming through like fear of being rejected, fear of being cast out, fear of being an exile, or like a pariah or something like that. But it's kind of like trying to maintain those expectations in order to not be cast out is keeping you stuck from something that is wanting to be expressed through you, but that it feels, I don't know, maybe it feels ugly, I don't know, within you. Like, maybe it doesn't feel good. Maybe it feels like you're, Your firecracker excitement, which is interesting. And you are highly thought of, the bow. You are highly thought of. The rose, romance is in the air. Marriage, Taurus. Okay. You have dark man and younger man. Dealings or relationships with a younger man, or a man with dark complexion or hair. And then at the bottom of the deck you have whale. Great worry over nothing. Okay. Interesting, Taurus. There is this energy here of like leaving the nest in some way, which is or because I was getting this energy of like waking a child from a dream. I don't know. It kind. Okay. All of these tea leaf cards are like very positive, though. That's the thing. Because you have all this excitement, which I do feel like I was getting that. There was this like sense of excitement, especially with the siren coming out, because that is a very alluring kind of energy. But it says you are highly thought of, and the rose, romance is in the air, and marriage. Maybe this is about a significant relationship. Doesn't have to be, though. But I mean, it's very hard to deny that. I feel like there could also be, if it's not that for you, though, it could be something like for you that's a long-term commitment, or something that makes you very excited, or I'm still getting, though, it's this energy of feeling like you're doing something wrong when you're not. Like, it's like, I don't know, because I'm getting this kind of energy of like with that like waking the child kind of energy, like like it's like this feeling of like waking someone up before the sun rises and like going to look at the sunrise. That's the energy that I'm getting. But like, I don't know, as kids or something. But you're not allowed to leave the house without supervision or something like that, which is so silly because I feel so maybe there's something here because obviously if you're watching this you're probably an adult, but like what this is coming through, this is feeling of like I don't know, like allowing your inner child to do what it wants while also trying to maintain like healthy boundaries and like being an adult and keeping up all your responsibilities and, you know, doing all the things that you need to do in order to be functional. But there's like something almost feeling like you're breaking the rules. And I feel like there's something here about that, and it feels kind of like, again, some sort of mask that you're wearing currently is going through this period of time where it's dissolving, is what it's coming through. Like a past version of yourself, a past ego identity, is dissolving. Like the rules, the conventions that were associated with a particular identity, Taurus, for you, is dissolving. And something new is being formed, right? Some new form of expression. And it could be something about a relationship. But I feel like there's resistance towards that because there's like something within yourself is resisting this new mask, maybe. Because it feels like... Okay, we're gonna pull tarot. I don't know. It just feels, I guess new would be the word that I'm searching for, but like, your previous self would have, your previous self, a past version of yourself, maybe would have judged this new version of yourself. Like, would have said that's a bad thing. I don't know why you're doing that. Like, that, it's kind of coming through like that. A past version of yourself, a past identity, would never imagine doing what you're considering doing, is how it's coming through. Wheel of Fortune. But things can change. I feel like there is something about that, like having, you have Page of Pentacles and Eight of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles to me, not necessarily in this deck, but just in general, can sometimes to me come through as a child. I feel like there's something here. Okay, there's that Bruce Willis movie. What is it called? The Boy or something like that. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a Bruce Willis movie. He meets the younger version of himself, right? Rusty, I think is his name. Where it's like he has this life that he has built up. He's super successful. He has this business, has a great car, whatever. I can't remember the details, but like has this like quote unquote dream life that he's built. And then he meets the younger version of himself as a kid who was bullied, who didn't have friends and all this stuff. And this younger version of himself, because that's what this is almost feeling like, is like, is asking him, like, did you get married? Do you have a dog? Like, do you have all these things that I'm dreaming of? Like, the younger version of himself dreamt of. And of course, for the adult, the answer was no. He didn't have a dog. He didn't have a wife or whatever it was, relationship. he was unhappy, the older version of himself. And the kid is sort of like, okay, what, like, you're not living the life that I dreamed you were. It's almost coming through like that, Taurus. Like, maybe there's something here of, this was the message in Capricorn's reading of, like, a dream that you had as a child, or if your child self could see you now, would your child self be happy with where you are right now? And maybe the answer to that is no. And maybe that's something that you're working towards, or that's something that's being reawakened within you, is this, like, child self and the dreams that this child self had. And it's almost like starting to build that thing that you've always wanted, but that had been asleep for a long time. Because that's what I'm seeing here with this. Like, working on some dream or desire that your child self had that you had put aside is kind of how it's coming through. Like, and maybe it has something to do with relationships or romance or excitement or marriage. I don't know. I don't know. It's just like, yeah, Two of Swords. I knew this card was going to come out. The Two of Swords. Like, traditionally, the Two of Swords talks about, like, having two truths that are directly opposed to one another. So there's an internal conflict of, like, which path do I choose? But in this deck, both swords are pointed in the same direction. That I feel like you already know what you want to do, Taurus, but you're still in this place of, like, taking a moment to pause. Getting ready for something. Perhaps you've already started to, unconsciously or subconsciously, you've already started to take steps towards this. But I still feel like there may be an aspect of yourself that is telling you, like, what am I doing? Like, what, like, in a way where it's like your ego may be fighting you on this, is how it's coming through. Or I shouldn't be doing this. Like, that's kind of how it's feeling to me. Like, that's sort of what might be holding you back, is like, yeah, the sun, a new beginning. There's really strong child energy in this for you, Taurus. Like, very strong inner child energy. If it's not a literal child, it's that. Sunflowers may be a significant symbol for you. There was a Taurus reading I did a while back, which I will link above, called Sunflowers in Amsterdam. That might be a reading you may want to watch. The sun is also clarity. It's also happiness. It's also saying yes to something. It's positive confirmation for whatever it is that you're asking about. Like, this is positive. This is good. This is the right direction. You will be getting clarity soon if you haven't already. And then you have Knight of Cups and Justice. This feels like moving towards something that is for you. But it's like, I do feel like there's this period of time where you're, like, looking back at a past version of yourself. Like, because by the end of that, I can't remember if it's called The Kid or The Boy, the movie with Bruce Willis. Like, that's what this is looking like, right? Like, looking back at the younger version of yourself, the child version of yourself, and being able to say, like, I got us here. That dream that we had, it's real. I've accomplished all the things that I said I was going to when I was a kid. Like, that, it's that kind of energy. I know that, and I feel like there's something about that feels almost like, maybe you feel silly about that, Taurus. Like maybe there's something about that makes you feel like childish, which is not a bad thing, but that's what I feel like there's part of your ego that's telling you it's a bad thing when it's not, right? Like, anyways, the world at the bottom of the deck, you're completing a cycle here. It's feeling like gently waking up this aspect of yourself because it's now time to realize some sort of dream that you've had. And the great worry over nothing. I do feel like there is a bit of worry over something that's like, you have nothing to worry about. You have nothing to worry about. It's all gonna work out, Taurus. Yeah, Master Manifestor. You are Master Manifestor. I feel very strongly that you're in your magician energy at the moment. I'm gonna read this one. Okay, Raven, I'm going to read the whole thing, so be patient. Raven lived a lonely life in the dark abyss of the universe with only one other creature, Spider. Anytime Spider crawled to Raven, Raven would freeze in terror, and Spider would sadly crawl away, for she did not want to scare Raven. Often you could find Raven gazing into the endless universe and dreaming about creating the world. Everything in his heart wanted to experience so much more, but he just didn't know how to create it. One day Spider saw Raven projecting his dream into the universe. Spider crawled up to Raven, and as usual, Raven froze in fear. Spider sadly looked up to Raven, suffocating in his fear, and right before Spider was about to dart away, she decided to use her voice. She said, "Dear Raven, I know you do not trust me, but I can help you." Raven seemed to snap out of his hypnotic state of terror for a moment and looked down at Spider. "I can weave your dream into existence," said Spider. It was at this moment that Raven understood. Not only did he have to befriend his fear, who was Spider, but that his fear is what held the gift to allow him to manifest his dream. Once Raven could accept and deeply love all aspects of himself, one being the Spider, who represented his fear, he then was able to become the ultimate magician, the Master Manifestor. Raven's medicine says, when you honor all aspects of your being, you become whole. Wholeness equates to self-love, and your wholeness supercharges your magnetism to attract and create. When you befriend the painful parts of your personality, you will find they're the ones that hold the secrets that allow you to fully step into your purpose. I feel like that just summarized the reading completely. You're embracing wholeness with this aspect of yourself that I feel like has been asleep or that you've been ignoring, maybe, Taurus, because it caused fear, or it's coming through with the siren energy. But once you befriend that allows you to create everything that you've always wanted to. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.